Hello everyone, this will be the review of game Two Parsecs From Earth, and the key was provided by developer. So we will start with one very annoying bug, and the game is trying to force the use of controller, and it's using invisible mouse cursor. So you have to navigate this screen, the menu screen, with invisible mouse cursor, which is quite annoying. Like now my mouse cursor is on new, and now it's on continue. You can use WASD, but you cannot press any button. At least I don't know about any button you can press to actually pick it. So you have to do it with a mouse anyway, which is very weird. It's trying to force a controller, it uses keyboard, and it also uses invisible mouse. I tried to address this on the forum, but there was absolutely no response, and it's the only message that exists on the forum. So it was completely ignored. Maybe it will be fixed in the future, I don't know, but it's quite annoying. The game has achievements and statistics as well. I'm not gonna click much of it, maybe even nothing, because I don't wanna struggle with the controls. I will just show you the game. Before we start, I will tell you that this is a platformer with Metroidvania elements. We could say it's a Metroidvania, but the game is by no means anything else than Metroidvania. So in my book, Metroidvania means a platformer where you have to find specific powers that allow you access to some areas of the map. So you have a big map, you can move around it, and before you get specific powers, you cannot enter specific areas, and after you get those powers, then you can. So there is a lot of backtracking, but that's the core of the genre. Now there is a lot of Metroidvania games which offer way more, for instance Salt and Sanctuary or Hollow Knight. So this is definitely not such game. This is pure Metroidvania. There is nothing else aside from using your powers and jumping. So you run, you jump, you use Metroidvania powers, and that's it. Also, you can replay the game using different powers, because you can only have 3 powers out of 8. I think that's 3 out of 8. And to get other powers, you have to replay the game. And what you do in the game, you have to collect something like 30 tokens and 3 batteries. If you find all of them, you can fly away in a ship. So basically you have to explore very big map, find those powers, use those powers to access other places, and collect all those tokens. Additionally, you die instantly whenever something touches you dead, and you have to respawn at the same map and do the whole section again. So that's a lot of replayability. I actually got 2 achievements for dying repeatedly. So that's the innate element of the game. You're supposed to die, you're supposed to repeat. And you also have to find the token, and I think you have to save. So you have to come back with the token and save your progress by exiting and entering area. You can just touch it and you have it. Now even that section needs to be repeated. Now I will be trying to show you some of it in the game, even though the game is very hard. So let's go to continue. Yes, it worked. I used mouse, and now I'm gonna use just actual arrows. Can you use? Yes, you can use WASD, or you can use arrows. On spacebar you jump. So I have 3 out of those, I don't know, maybe 20 tokens. I think it's 20 actually. So we'll try to move to the left. Now I have to always avoid everything. Like this fly, I have to avoid it. I have to avoid this thing moving on the top. If I die, I will go back. So like this is a situation. Oh, by the way, this is something that also is a thing. You are on the edge. I think you also have some sort of momentum when you move. I'm not entirely sure, but I think you do. So to go through this, you probably need to have dash, which I don't have. I can't do it with jumping, so I can't go through this obstacle, right? I need a specific power that I won't have because I have double jump, and so I have to go elsewhere. This is another place. You have to somehow break the wall, so you have to find the power that breaks a wall. And let's say by elimination, I'm trying to double jump. By the way, it's not very well. I don't know, maybe just me. I couldn't do it basically. Okay, so let's go left. See, this is the place where I found the token. This square means that there was a token. Now that's another thing. you can somehow probably get rid of this plant life here, this green thing, and that's probably another power. And this means I might be able, no, probably I can't do it, even though I actually have, no, I do have it, maybe I don't, I'm not sure. Maybe it needs to be like specifically, yes, you can do it actually. So probably I'm supposed to do it with double jumps, probably. Or maybe not, I'm not entirely sure. By the way, I already collected those. So there were 2 tokens, I have them already, so let's go to the bottom. This is a teleportation, I should show up on the left, probably. Take this token, but I don't have it. Maybe there is more tokens than you need. Maybe there's like 30 tokens, but you need only 20 or something like that. This is probably something that allows you to move another place to use your power, so probably you can somehow squeeze in into that hole and kind of dash to the right, but I don't have this power either. So I will now try to go back where we were and show you the other area. So all that doesn't save. If I die, I will be appearing at the well, here basically. So maybe once, no, I wanted to try again, but that token that's on the top, I'm trying to look up, but you can't look up, you can only look down. See, I can't take this token because I don't have the squeeze power, whatever that power is, and I'm in the second area. So see, this is a very annoying element, but I want to show you. There is a token on the left, right? So I died. I got killed by this fly. What I'm supposed to do, I have to do perfect jump. By the way, that was bad. Even though I used double jump, I died. I think you have to jump twice. I have to probably jump again. Okay. So you have to perfectly jump to the left, collect the token, and come back, which means you have to probably drop to the bottom and do this section, right? You are supposed to drop here, do this jump back here, and then somehow come back, yeah, like this, and save. But to take the token, yeah, that was wrong. To take the token, you probably have to do perfect double jump. So of course I can do this. I didn't jump in the right moment, but even if I do, that's not the right way to do it. Again, I'm dying constantly. I probably have to jump from here. Yes, see, I have to push the button a second time, so I have to double jump in the right moment. I have to jump, drop, and at some point use another jump. Well, first I have to avoid the fly. Then I have to do this. Oh, see, that's it. And then I died. Then I died. And it was in red, which means I lost it, even though I did it. So probably have to first provoke the fly. Right, so this is a whole sequence. I know what I have to do, but I can't do it. So first I have to provoke the fly. Right, then I have to do this perfect jump to the left, which I already did, but I'm gonna fail because there is spikes. Then I have to drop down here. Then I have to do perfect jump to the right, putting me where I am now, and then another perfect jump to the left. And the odds of doing all of it are small, right? See, I died. I messed up. So you have to keep repeating the sequence until you do it perfectly. And that's just one token, right? All that torture here, that's just one token out of 20. Yeah, but by the way, it was bad, right? So I have to do this. Eventually, maybe you can learn it. Like, you know perfectly when you jump. You know that if you do this, well, okay, I pressed space, but it didn't work. Now it did. Right, so I'm doing the jump. I failed, died. And that's how you play. You constantly try to do some sequence or figure out what sequence it is. And then you try over and over and over and over again. Which pisses me off, and it's really, really annoying. So that's how you try hard the game. Trying to do various things perfectly. Right? Now I did it, right? So I did it. Okay, eventually. And then you of course have to try hard to the next location, like here, what's done here. I don't know. By the way, I think I do know. The thing is, you have to do the time the jump on the guy on the right? Because when you jump perfectly, you will land on this shelf on the right when he is not there, and then you have to probably instantly jump to the left. So something like, of course, this was bad, and you do the whole thing again and again and again. And that's the gameplay, right? And that's just the jumping, because if I had that different power, I would be doing different things in different places. But a lot of the game is those horrible timed jumps, which, by the way, I'm not even sure if that's what I should do. But I'm just guessing. Probably that's the case, right? Maybe. Looks like a place where I could use my double jump, so I guess this is the part of the game where if you have it, well, can I do this? Yes, I can. Can I do this? No, it's always complete death. So the only reason to go up there is to get another token, right? You have to try hard. Again, I'm gonna try. So I did it, but he was in the wrong place, or I was in the wrong place. So the jump itself is hard, and timing it with this guy is also hard. Because probably have to jump when he's on the right, or we have to jump when he's on the left. We have to learn the whole sequence, do it perfectly, counting all the momentum that you have. And yeah, now this guy killed me. Yeah, that was the momentum, because I was still moving to the left, even though I stopped. We always have a bit of momentum. So let's say jump. Yes, I made it. Now I will probably die, right? Because, well, I could try to jump there, and I have to jump to the left. Yes. So now I saved another token. So guys, the whole struggle that I was showing you, probably was like 9 minutes, got me 2 tokens and tons of tryharding. So that's how you play, basically. I'm not sure if I can get anything here. Probably not. I can try to do far jump. Yes, I can do a far jump. Okay. Let's see what's there on the right. Yeah, this is another situation the same as before. You have to jump at the right moment, not die to this critter. Right, if I jump now, no, I have to actually jump to the right. And again, I died. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna stop here because this is just super annoying. It even tells you it's a double dash. Actually, it says double dash area, even though I'm doing double jump. I'm not sure if this is the same power, probably not. Okay, see, when you press pause, it tells you stuff about controller. I don't have a controller, I use mouse and keyboard. My mouse is invisible, so now I have to press main menu somehow. 74 deaths, and that was just a very short time of playing. So I have a couple of problems with this game. Maybe the good parts first. Well, it looks cool, and it's quite responsive generally. It's also very hard, but generally movement is okay. It's probably a bit harder than it should be. I think there is some momentum. There is this on the ledge position that is kinda I don't know, maybe not sure if he reacts the same way when he's about to fall, but maybe it's just an animation. He's actually standing still. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks good. The environment looks good, your character looks good, and he's quite responsive. And now the game offers very little, because all it offers is Metroidvania powers, and because you can have all of them, there is some replayability, but I think you are replaying the exactly same game, just that you can have a different power and pick different tokens in different places, but there is nothing on top of that. Now I'm actually used to play games that offer more on top of this, so I'm okay with platformers as part of the game, I'm okay with Metroidvanias as part of the game, but not as being the whole game, because those elements exist in very good games like Hollow Knight or Sword and Sanctuary, but those games also have other elements and they are quite cheap. This game only has platforming and Metroidvania powers. Nothing else. There is really nothing else. So if you are looking for just a platformer, a hard one, if you are satisfied with just finding Metroidvania powers and exploring and nothing else, and you are okay with dying instantly whenever you touch whatever, then it might be the game for you. But if you are expecting anything more, there is nothing more. From what I know, there is no combat, there is no character progression aside from those powers. There is no stats. in terms of character power. Like there is no combat, there is no damage, there is no defense, there is no HP. You just always die instantly. So it might be a good game for speedrunners. Maybe if you are extremely skilled in those games. I would say it's harder than Hollow Knight personally, because I actually finished Hollow Knight on easy ending and I couldn't finish this one. So it's more annoying and more hard in my opinion. Some sections in Hollow Knight probably were harder, I couldn't do them, but I was at least able to finish the game. In this, I'm just stuck constantly. I can barely collect a few tokens. I just found one power and it just saps any will to play more. I was pretty much done after 5 minutes with this game because it's just so annoying. But it's not the same case for everybody, because if someone is into those particular games, if you don't want anything deeper from a Metroidvania or a platformer, then it could be a perfect game for you, but it's not for me. I would definitely want to have other layers of complexity, other elements of the game. This could be a base for a very cool game. This could be a base for, a Dark Souls even game. But no, it's just jumping and timed jumps and well, repeating sequences many times until you do it, which even I was able to do it eventually, right? I got those 2 tokens, but try harding for like 9 minutes for every little bit of the game, it's not what I usually do, and it's just not fun for me. So can I recommend it? I can recommend it for a very specific group of people, because I think there are people who don't mind it, who actually play pure platformers or pure Metroidvania games. If you do, then you will like it. If you expect more, you won't like it. Now, for me, this game is below standard, because there are already much better games with all the aspects, all the layers on top of what we see here, and they are just better. I would much rather play, Salt and Sanctuary than this, like anytime. So for me, this is below standard. I would say that the problem is that I don't know what I'm comparing it to, because for a platformer it's fine, for a Metroidvania it's also fine, because it's both a platformer and Metroidvania, and for anything better it's quite bad, because it doesn't have any other elements. But you could defend the game and say, hey, for a platformer that's actually a good platformer, for a Metroidvania it's a good Metroidvania. If you want more, then just, go play other games. And I agree with that. I'm just saying from my perspective that this is not enough. It's not very expensive, but it really offers very little. It's not much more than just a jumper. You just jump platforms and, you do it in a sequence, you do it perfectly, and you keep progressing. And plus, you have those powers. Yes, I know they exist. I found one. There is more, but that's absolutely it. There's nothing more to it. Yes, there's NG+, but it's the same map and the same environment from what I know. It's not randomly generated, it's designed. So you would probably replay it with all the possible combinations of powers if you are desperate, but that would be it, right? The length, of course, could be very long, because it depends on how good you are. You could make a speed run, or you could get stuck completely, even on first map. So it depends on your skill, right? If you are very skilled, you can probably do it in like 20 minutes, but if you're not, it's gonna take you weeks. So it's hard to say if it's worth your money. I would say tryharding and constantly dying isn't worth any money, or very little money. But if that's what you want to do, then well, maybe it's worth something for you. I would say it's below standard. So for me, this is 3 out of 10. It does have nice, graphics. It's quite responsive, but it's really not enough to say that the game is even average or better. Even this menu graphic looks good, but that's not enough to call the game good if it's just mostly annoying. So I was just disappointed and annoyed most of the time, if we're talking about feelings. If we're talking about the substance, I hope I told you what's in the game actually, and I will leave the decision to you. But as I say, from my perspective, this is below standard and 3 out of 10. So that was 2 Parsecs from Earth, and I will see you in the next review.